Hi everyone, welcome to day 10 of our 15-day basic English grammar course in our channel Teaching Saga. Today we are going to see about verb forms, that is V1, V2 and V3. We will see in detail about regular and irregular verbs. In today's video we are going to cover the following topics. First we will see what's a verb and then types of verbs, and we will see about verb forms and conjugation of verbs. And then we'll discuss about the regular and irregular verbs, and then types of irregular verbs, and finally quiz number 10 for you all, and also answers to quiz number 9. And of course we'll have the shout out to fastest 10 correct answers at the end. Okay, now let's get into today's video. In our day 9 class on verbs, we have seen the definition of a verb. Let's recall that now. A verb is a word that shows an action or a state, that is a situation. And we have also discussed about the types of verbs in the previous video. We have seen about the stative or dynamic verbs, that is state verbs and action verbs. And then main and auxiliary verbs, that is helping verbs. In today's video, we are going to see in detail about regular and irregular verbs. In the regular and irregular verbs இன்றது பெரும்பாலும் main verbs தான் இருக்கும். அதாவது ஒரு செயலை குறிக்கிற action verb தான் இருக்கும். Before we get into that, let's see about verb forms in detail first. Verb forms அப்படின்றது verbs can change their forms according to subject and time. இப்போ நீங்கள் மற்ற parts of speechலாம் forms change பண்ணுறதில்ல, ஆனால் இந்த verb மட்டும் it will change its form depending on the subject. Say for example, I play tennis. He plays tennis. இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஐன்ற சப்ஜெக்ட் வரப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பர்சன் சிங்குலர் ப்ரொனவுன் ஐ வரப்போ we use play. அது மாதிரி தேர்ட் பர்சன் சிங்குலர் ப்ரொனவுன் he வரப்போ அந்த playன்ற verb அதோட ஃபார்மை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணி plays அப்படின்னு ஆயிடுது. அது மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு சப்ஜெக்டையும் பொறுத்து இந்த verb வந்து தன்னோட ஃபார்மை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிக்கும். Similarly, a verb changes its form according to the time. Now look at the example. We go to school daily. We went to school yesterday. We will go to school tomorrow. இந்த எக்ஸாம்பிளில் கோன்ற verb யூஸ் ஆயிருக்கு. இதோட அர்த்தம் நாங்கள் பள்ளிக்கு செல்கிறோம் அப்படின்றதான். ஆனால் ஒவ்வொரு சென்டென்ஸ்லையும் டைமை பொறுத்து we go to school dailyன்றப்போ we use a present tense go. yesterday நேற்றுக்கு past tense முடிஞ்சதை பற்றி சொல்கிறப்போ அந்த கோன்ற verb went அப்படின்னு ஃபார்மை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிக்குது. அதே மாதிரி டுமாரோ நாளைக்கு நடக்க போகிறத பற்றி சொல்கிறப்போ இட் ஜாயின்ஸ் வித் வில் கோ அப்படின்னா அதோட ஃபார்மை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிக்குது. திஸ் இஸ் ஹவு அ verb changes its form according to the subject and the time. So we have seen that a verb changes its form. Now let's see what are the basic forms of a verb in English. There are 3 basic forms in English. They are base form, that is V1. இந்த base form present formனு சொல்லுவாங்க. And second one is past form V2. Third one is past participle form V3. இப்போ eat அப்படிங்கிற base form V1 கிணையான V2 and V3 என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா ate and eaten. இந்த காமனான 3 forms இல்லாமல் we have other forms of verbs also. They are present participle form V4. இந்த present participle formனா ஒன்றும் இல்லை, நம்ம பேஸ் ஃபார்மோட ஐஎன்ஜி ஆட் பண்ணி சொல்லுவோம். eat அப்படின்னா eating, write அப்படின்னா writing. Another form is the S or ES form. It is used in simple present tense. இது third person singular pronouns ஆன he, she, it ஓட யூஸ் ஆகும். இதில் நம்ம பேஸ் ஃபார்மோட just S or ES ஆட் பண்ணால் போதும். For example, eat, eats, write, writes, play, plays. Okay, now let's move to the next topic. Based on the conjugation of verbs, verbs can be classified as regular verbs or irregular verbs. First, let's see about the regular verbs. Regular verbs form their past tense and past participle by adding ed. Base form V1 ஓட just ed add பண்ணாலே நமக்கு past form and past participle form கிடைச்சிரும் இந்த regular verbsல. Now let's see some examples. Bless, blessed, blessed. Laugh, laughed, laughed. Paint, painted, painted. Walk, walked, walked. Work, worked, worked. இந்த எல்லா verbsமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம பேஸ் ஃபார்ம் V1 ஓட ed ஆட் பண்ணால் நமக்கு V2 and V3க்கு derive ஆயிடுது. So these are called regular verbs. Now let's move on to the next one, which is irregular verbs. Irregular verbs form their past tense and past participle in a different way from adding ed. Based on that, we can divide these irregular verbs into three types. In the first type, we have verbs in which all three forms are the same. அதாவது V1, V2, V3 மூணுமே சேமா இருக்கும். In the second type, we have verbs in which two of the three forms are the same. V1, V2ல V3ல ஏதாவது two forms மட்டும் காமனாக இருக்கும். And in the third type, we have verbs in which all three forms are different. மூணுமே கம்ப்ளீட்டாக டிஃபராக இருக்கும். Okay, now let's see some examples. Type 1 irregular verbs. Cut, cut, cut. Hit, hit, hit. Hurt, hurt, hurt. Put, put, put. Read, read, read. As you can see, all the forms V1, V2 and V3 are the same in this type 1 of irregular verbs. Now let's see some examples for type 2 irregular verbs. Build, built, built. Catch, caught, caught. Dig, dug, dug. Feel, felt, felt. Say, said, said. இங்கே V1 base form மட்டும் ஒன்றா இருக்குது and then V2 and V3 ரெண்டுமே காமனாக இருக்குது. So these all belong to type 2 of irregular verbs. Okay, now let's see the examples for type 3 of irregular verbs. Begin, began, begun. Fly, flew, flown. Go, went, gone. See, saw, seen. Throw, threw, thrown. As you can see, all three forms, that is base form, past form and past participle form, are different in this third type of irregular verbs. With this, we come to the end of today's class. I hope you are all clear with the basic forms of verbs, namely base form, past form and past participle form. And you might also be clear with regular and irregular verbs and their conjugation. Okay, now it's quiz time for you all. Let's move on to quiz number 10. Okay, it's time for announcing answers to quiz number 9. Now it's time to announce fastest 10 correct answers. Okay, let's meet again in our day 11 class coming Saturday at 5 o'clock. Until I meet you again, just keep learning. Bye.